There we are. We're live. Did you see Margaret Keane's post earlier on?
No.
The phone, the iPads and everything was being charged on the charge. The chalk aces are in the freezer waiting for tonight's investigation. It's a...
statue no head.
I think that's the statue of St. Brona herself. Hey Catherine. Hey Jacqueline. Hey Ryan.
I wonder how they survived the storm.
Yeah. How's everybody this evening? Sorry we're a bit late. We're just finding the place. So we found her alright and we got in okay. I have to say folks, it's a lovely, lovely place. This graveyard. 5 people tuned in already. So guys, we'll get the investigation kicked off. We'll not wait any further. So you're all very welcome to Tuesday night's investigation. Hi Margaret, here in Kilbroney graveyard in Rostrevor, County Down. Myself, Pabs, and my co-investigator Clodagh are here this evening, and it's the graveyard of St. Brona. Hey Job. And tonight's investigation, it may be something similar to the one we did a few weeks ago up in South Armagh. Remember the medieval graveyard that we investigated a few weeks ago, where we got in contact with the spirit of Saint Monina. Similar circumstances. I'll give you a little bit of history of this graveyard and of Saint Brona. Saint Brona, like Saint Monina, was just an ordinary girl born in this area. This is the area of South Down, where Saint Monina was South Armagh. This is South Down. Saint Brona was a follower of St. Patrick. She was born in the 5th century. She was baptised by St. Patrick and she was a follower of St. Patrick. And St. Brona, just like St. Monina, started a convent. And it was in this area she started the convent. Not just for the purpose of nuns and the holy orders living in the convent. One of the main reasons the convent was started... Hey Erin, hey Morris. One of the main reasons that the convent was started was also to help sailors who were shipwrecked on Carlingford Lough. And for those who don't know, Carlingford Lough is a stretch of water that goes from the Irish Sea into the coastal town of Warrenpoint and the village of Rostrevor, where this graveyard is. This graveyard is just on the outskirts of the village of Rostrevor, County Down. And St. Brona started the convent with one of the purposes of helping sailors who were shipwrecked. So as far as I know, some of those sailors are also buried in this graveyard. I decided to kick off the investigation at the well of St. Brona. And as you can see, here's St. Brona's statue. This is her. And we have a statue of Our Lady and a statue of St. Padre Pio. And I'll just say, and we have a statue here with no head. Right, okay. Fair enough. So we'll just read what it says here. This shrine was erected to St. Brona by the Very Reverend William Cannon McGinn during his pastorate of Kilbroney in the year 1938 and was dedicated by the Most Reverend E. Mulhern, Bishop of Dromore, 14th of August 1938. So we'll just take a little walk around to the other side, guys. The other side of the well. And just bear with us while we'll take you on a tour of the graveyard first, guys, before we try to contact anybody, because it's an absolutely beautiful graveyard and it would just be a shame if we missed out on it. And here you can see, folks, is the well of St. Brona. And the water in St. Brona's well is said to cure certain eye conditions. The water is said to cure certain eye conditions. Whether that is true or not, I don't know. But usually before we start an investigation to protect ourselves from malevolent spirits, we bless ourselves in holy water. We say the prayer to St. Michael the Archangel, and we also bless ourselves with a selenite wand. And instead of using our own holy water tonight, we used the holy water from the well of St. Brona to bless ourselves. So hopefully she'll keep us protected during this investigation, because malevolent spirits can and do end up in graveyards as well. So this is thanks, Job. So this is the well of St. Brona, and there's a Celtic cross in the graveyard dedicated to St. Brona, and it's also said to be where she is buried. So as I said, we're going to take us on a little tour of the graveyard before we switch on any EVP recorders, motion sensor lights, or anything else, or spirit boxes. We're going to look for the cross of St. Brona to see where she's buried. So just bear with us, guys, because it's a beautiful graveyard. And, you know, one of the things we do in investigations, sometimes we tend just to get stuck in to trying to contact people right away. And we never really appreciate the beauty of the area that we're investigating. So there's don't know who that is up there. We'll not worry about it anyway, just as long as it isn't the police. But then again, this isn't private property anyway, so nobody says that we shouldn't be here. And if anybody just asks, I'm just going to tell them the truth, that we're just doing a little investigation. Sorry, Clodagh. Yeah, so just bear with us, guys. We'll take us on a little walk around the graveyard. Just in case my torch isn't doing enough, my head torch, I'll turn on the big one. So here we are. It's a lovely, lovely graveyard, folks. And also, you won't be able to see this in the darkness, but we are also at the foot of one of the Mourne Mountains. You can't really see ahead of you. Hey, Mary. You can't really see ahead of you, but this is one of the Mourne Mountains. This is the mountain at the top of Kilbroney Forest Park. And, well, it's in the dark, but there's a big forest on a mountain right in front of us. It's a beautiful, beautiful backdrop. I would love to come down here someday during the day and actually do a little bit of filming just to show you how beautiful the area really, really is. And by the way, guys, do us a wee favour, as usual, during investigations, while we're walking around the graveyard or any part of the investigation, if you see things which you think maybe a little bit suspicious, don't forget the screenshots. We usually do have our loyal screenshot takers. So yeah, don't forget to take screenshots if you see anything that you may even think may be a spirit, you know. Myself and Clodagh is walking around here at the minute, and I'm just getting the feeling that somebody's walking around with us. So just bear with us while we just take a little tour of the graveyard. And then we're going to go to the cross of St. Brona. We'll also try and find where some of these people who were shipwrecked on Carlingford Lough, you know, we're actually walking around one of the most recent part of the graveyard, and the oldest part is actually up here where I'm shining my torch. So we're going to head up around there and see if we'll get to the cross of St. Brona, and I'll see that's where she's buried as well. So we'll head on up there. Just wanted to show you around the graveyard first. Hey Randy, hey Kaz, hey Lisa. Yeah, so we've got a good few tuning in at the minute, 16. So, for those just joining us, for those just tuning in, we are in Kilbroney graveyard, just outside the little picturesque village of Rostrevor in County Down at the foot of the Mourne Mountains, and just right next to Carlingford Lough, which is a stretch of water that leads out into the Irish Sea towards the Isle of Man and England and Scotland and Wales, basically mainland UK. So that's just for the benefit of those who are joining us. As I say, is just bear with us, because you know, I like to take a little walk around the places where we are investigating before we get stuck straight into trying to contact people. Huh? That's what I mean. I actually should have come down here yesterday, but it's just when my ma phoned me just to meet up with her and Sean, you know. I hadn't got time, so these wee steps here take us up into the old part. So we're going up into the old part of the graveyard now, folks, and this is where we're going to try and contact the spirits, you know. As I said, just watch yourself there, Clodagh. As I say, guys, you know, we're coming into the old part now, as you can see. And also as well, as I said, you know, St. Brona was born in the 5th century. But just back in the late 1800s, during a very, very bad storm here in the late 1800s, the storm brought down a tree, and inside the tree, a bell was found, and the bell was found to date back from the time of St. Brona, and it was actually named St. Brona's Bell. It's now in one of the local Catholic churches. It's not in the graveyard at all. So there we go, just a little bit of history for you folks. Because I believe one of the most important parts of an investigation is actually to give people a little bit of history of where we are investigating, you know, just so they have sort of a bit of an idea of why we are investigating. So here we are, we're just up at the top of the old graveyard, and what we're actually looking for is the cross of St. Brona. And it also tells us that the cross of St. Brona, where she's buried, it's not your typical kind of Celtic cross. So we're going to, hey Tara, so we're going to have to just bear with us, because you know, it's a lovely graveyard, lovely medieval graveyard. Look, now you wouldn't think that was an actual headstone, but it is. You know, you just think that that's how old this graveyard is. Something very, very similar to the one we investigated a few weeks back up in South Armagh. There's a few headstones like this around the graveyard, so very, very old. I don't know whether I'm walking on people's graves or not. If I am, I do apologise. I don't mean to, but it's a beautiful graveyard, guys. We are in the old part. Well, that's how old some of these graves are. You have a headstone just completely broken away. Margaret, I know yous are in the Isle of Man. I didn't say yous were in the UK. I said Carneyford Loch is a stretch of water that leads you out towards the Isle of Man and the UK. I didn't say that yous were in the UK. Huh? Can you get down this way? See, there's also the ruins of a church here, guys, as well. So we'll take us over to the ruins of the church, and just like the last time, like we did up in the medieval graveyard a few weeks ago in South Armagh, we'll go inside the church. We'll get our motion sensor light out, and we'll try and contact people that way first. Then we'll do our EVP session, and then we'll do our spirit box sessions. But yeah, this is the really, really old part of the graveyard. Well, completely old headstones where the inscriptions are actually completely vanished. Hey, LaDonna. Oh, you're okay, Tara. Don't worry about the spelling. You're fine. Very, very old part of the graveyard. Yeah, I wonder what this one. I wonder what this is. Christ. Just watch that chain, yeah. Oh shit. No, that's how old that is. Just a rotten. That was a cross at one stage. Just fell apart. So that's how old part of this graveyard is. You know, very, very old. 1876. Now, so there's some headstones in here far, far older than that. This stone here, this was 1800. See, it's 1800 in this stone. So that's what, 220 years ago. And here's the ruins of the church, guys. So I hope we can get into the ruins of the church. Let's see. I think, Clodagh, do you see around here, on this side here, there's a zip somewhere. See here? There's a zip somewhere on the side. If you can just, I think the motion sensor light's in there somewhere. It's up here somewhere around the side. So guys, just waiting for Clodagh to get the motion sensor light out. If it's not there, it's on the other side. Must be the other side then. But yeah, lovely graveyard. There's the ruins of the church. This is Kilbroney old church. You got it, yeah? Happy days. So we've got the motion sensor light out, guys. So we'll take a wee walk around the ruins of the church. And if there's any way inside the church, here we are here. I actually have a better motion sensor light ordered, guys, from Amazon, but it hasn't arrived yet, obviously. So here we go. Here's the entrance. We'll take a little down. I know you're messing, Margaret. I know you're messing. Because I know a lot of people from the Isle of Man that don't like being classed as from the UK. So here we are, folks, inside. Hey, Sally. So, just get a couple of screenshots. Come in here. You know, something with 28 people watching at the minute, Chloe, and that's the most ever tuned in. So just let's hope, well, it's down to 24. Just hope people stay, but then people come and go during investigations, you know. They do have things to do. Yeah, they can watch the replay. So guys, I'm just taking a few screenshots. And I would just ask you to do the same, just in case anything does come up in the photographs. Still haven't found the cross of St. Brona. It said where the cross of St. Brona is, that's where she is actually buried. Now here's a headstone here that the inscription is not on, but it's obviously the burial site of somebody. The inscription is well worn away. Hey Jen, this headstone's definitely a few hundred years old, if not, I would say pushing close to 1,000, because that's how old this church is, the ruins of this church. Something's telling me there's something in that window. So, get a few screenshots. So I hope the regular screenshot takers are in action tonight, folks. So where will we put the motion sensor light? And we'll ask, huh? I don't stick her up in the window. Yeah, put her up in the window. So here we go, guys. Clodagh's just putting the light up in the window. It's on obviously because she was holding it. So we'll just wait for it to go off, and we'll see if we can get in contact with anybody. Myself and Clodagh will just ask a couple of questions each. Good man, Ryan. Thank you very much indeed. You know, you're one of our loyal screenshot takers, and we do appreciate that. Oh, there's the light. Come on, guys. We didn't even have to ask a question. Now, if anybody remembers back to last week's investigation in that abandoned sort of house barn just off Newry Towpath that we did last week, we got very, very little evidence last week. It was only maybe the last 10, 15 minutes on the spirit box, people started to come through. And tonight, before we have even asked a question, the light has come on. So that is usually a very, very good sign that spirits are about. Before you even ask a question, the motion sensor light comes on. So that's usually a very good sign the spirits are about. So one of the questions I will ask, if there's any spirits among us and you want them to come forward and make contact, could you please turn on that light sitting by the window? Just like you did a minute ago. Hello, Donzel. Remember a few weeks ago when we were up in the Kilbroney Old Church? And as soon as I asked the question, is Sister Menina among us, the light came on. And it's not very often paranormal investigators get to contact somebody who has died 1,500 years ago. Even if you watch the likes of Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, it's maybe spirits 400 or 500 years at the most. So I was actually quite proud of us that night, that we actually got in contact with a spirit who had died 1,500 years beforehand. And it's the same with St. Brona as well. She would have died around 1,500 years ago too. So have we any male spirits among us this evening? Have we got any female spirits among us this evening?
Is St. Brona here?
St. Brona, yeah.
Are you here, St. Brona?
Spirits, my name is Pabs. This is my friend Clodagh. And we are not here to cause any harm or offence or to scare yous. We come here with love and respect. All we want to do is communicate and, if possible, hear parts of your story. So please do not be afraid of us. Are there any child spirits here with us at the minute? I actually thought when the light lit up, before we even asked a question, I thought that was actually a good sign. Are you getting something up in the corner?
It's like a white thing line going through. There's nothing white there.
That's the bar, is it? Let me see.
Straight across.
Oh, no, that's just going straight across, is right. Guys, just look at Clodagh's phone. To see the light she's got coming straight across. Now, when I point my phone over here, there's nothing even resembling that. So I actually think we have caught, or Clodagh has caught an orb on her camera. Hey, Anadina. So yeah, I actually think Clodagh has caught an orb on her camera. An orb, that a flying orb. Usually an orb is just a small ball of light, but obviously when it's in motion, it's too big to be a bug. The length of the light is too long for it to be a bug. Certainly looks like a moving orb to me. So well done to Clodagh. Yeah, that definitely looks like a moving orb. Look, tell me what you think, guys. This bit of white here. See where my finger's pointing? That looks like a moving orb, doesn't it? Yeah. What do we do, Donzel? We are paranormal investigators. That's right, guys. Keep pressing those hearts. Give us some of your love. So obviously, folks, nobody is coming through to us here down this end of the church. So we'll grab the motion sensor light and we'll move up maybe to the other end where Clodagh has caught this, what looks like an orb. Definitely looks like an orb to me, guys. Oh, happy days. There's the hearts going up. Ha ha ha. So we'll come up here, folks. We'll actually come up beside this grave. If you want to put the light down, maybe just put it in the wee stone. The wee stone there.
Yeah.
Aye.
Is it that way so we don't knock it off?
Yeah. We'll actually stand over this way facing it. And I'll get a screenshot as well while I'm standing here. So we're actually facing the direction where Clodagh has got the shot of that what looks like to be an orb. I think it is an orb. I want to know what you guys think. We'll just wait for this light to go off, so hopefully there'll be a spirit up here. So, good evening, spirits. So if that was an orb, if that was a spirit that my friend caught on her camera, could you please confirm it just by lighting up that little device that she placed on the stone?
Just walking past it.
That's all you have to do, spirits. Just stand beside it, walk past it or touch it. And it will light up. And we haven't come here tonight to be intrusive or to be rude or to do anything bad. We are not here for that purpose. We are just here because we want to contact people in the afterlife. Yeah, there's a bar across the walls that supports Jacqueline. But what Clodagh actually caught was going straight. The bar is actually going diagonal, look. See, diagonally. And what Clodagh actually caught was going straight and was below the actual bar itself. So it wasn't the bar that she caught. It looked to me like a moving orb. And I can hear children laughing, guys. Guys, I can hear children laughing. Can you guys hear children laughing? And just as I come here to the entrance and look around, the laughing has stopped. Did any of you guys hear that? The laughing children? Did you hear that, Clodagh?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah?
For ages now ago.
Holy shit. Yeah, it had been going on for a while, guys. I don't know whether you can hear it. Me and Clodagh were inside the ruins of the church. We could hear children laughing. And as soon as I come and look across, shine the torch to where the laughter was coming from, it has stopped. Hopefully, maybe... I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to switch on the EVP recorder and hopefully it might pick up something. I'm going to stick on the EVP recorder. And maybe it might pick up the laughing. Because as soon as I came here to one of the exits of the church ruins, the laughing stopped. When I shone my torch in the direction of the laughing, it ceased. So I'm just going to switch on the EVP recorder, guys. No worries, Jacqueline. No problem at all. Just confirming the position of the bar compared to where the light was moving, you know. But we have the EVP recorder on, and you know, it just so happens that the laughter of the children was going on for a couple of minutes. It just so happens when I come and shine the light to where it was coming from, it stops. So I can't say 100%. Hey Sandra, I can't say 100% it's paranormal. You know, I don't have any proof that it was paranormal, but it's certainly unexplained at the minute. And I certainly don't think it's any coincidence that the laughing stops as soon as I shine the light in the direction it was coming from. Because there is children buried in this graveyard as well. So that was very, very weird, Clodagh. The children laughing. So is there any spirits of children around here? Don't be afraid to come forward. We mean you no harm. I'm holding in my hand a little device, and if you don't feel comfortable by showing your presence by lighting up the little light in front of us, come and talk into this little device that I have in my hand. So I'm going to ask a couple of the same questions again, and you can either light up the light, talk into this device, or do both. It's up to yourselves. Is there any spirits among us that would like to come forward and make contact? And Adina said that was definitely a moving orb that you caught. She has also said, to your left there was a division between the shrubbery. My grandson was watching with me and saw a face. And of course you know our history with the paranormal. I did not quite catch it on the camera, moved quick. And Adina is very, very sensitive to seeing spirits. She's always seeing spirits.
Division would be that fencing around that grave, is it?
The shrubbery, no, I think she was talking about, you know, when I came to the exit here and looked out over here, she was talking about the gap in the trees. She said there was actually a face over here watching us, where I'm pointing my finger. She says there's a gap in the trees over here. I have the headlight shining over there at the minute. So I'm going to take a screenshot just in case anything does show up. Now, there's a light shining over there, and I can see it on the camera, but I can't see it with my naked eye. There's a light shining between the shrubbery. I can see it on the camera, but not with my naked eye, and it's coming from just behind the gap in the trees. And I am starting to get... I am starting to feel a presence around us. No, that's okay, Margaret. I know it would be very, very hard to pick up the sound of the children on the video here. But myself and Clodagh, you know, we could hear it sort of as if it was coming from behind where I'm shining the light now. And as soon as I came to the exit and shone the torch, the laughing stopped. So it was just a bit odd the way it happened. And of course, Adina said that her grandson saw a face where I'm shining my headlight now at the minute. So anyway, we have the EVP recorder on, folks. If there is any spirits talking or children laughing, the EVP recorder will pick it up. And we have asked the question, if there is any spirits who would like to come forward and make contact, they know to come and talk into the device, or else light up the motion sensor light. So don't be afraid, spirits. You know, myself and Clodagh, we're not here to cause any harm. We're here to be your friends. We are here to hopefully hear your story. So I'm just taking screenshots myself as well, folks. But we hope you will. And hopefully when I analyse this EVP recording later on, something will come up. It'll definitely pick up the noise of that jumbo jet ahead. Or overhead. Whoa! Guys, look. Look. And none of us went near that light. None of us went near that light. For people who watch our live streams on a regular basis, you know that we actually have to be over beside that light for it to light up. And myself and Clodagh are standing a good distance away. So we'll wait for it's off.
Sorry, do you want to come back?
Oh,
Hi.
It's lit up again. Hey, spirits. If there's anything you would like to say, talk into this little device I have in my left hand. Could you please come forward and tell us your name? Are you a male spirit? Are you a female spirit?
Were you buried here? Were you a child?
Were you any of the children that was laughing outside a few minutes ago?
Were you St. Bridget? Brona? Sorry, Brona.
St. Brona, yeah.
Are you familiar with St. Brona? Were you alive around the time of St. Brona?
Were you a member of the congregation who used to celebrate Mass in this church? Nothing. See, sometimes it can just be a spirit that's passing through. If it walks past, it'll light up. But it actually lit up twice. In quick succession. It was actually suggested to me that it was a spirit that wanted to make contact.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, Sally said Edward comes to mind. Ask for Edward. Okay. Well, give that a go, Sally. If the spirit of Edward is here, could you please come forward and speak into this little device? Or light up that little light at the edge of the grave? Enadina says they're curious. Yeah, I suppose so, Enadina. Maybe curious and a bit shy. You know, it's not all the time you will get spirits that will want to make contact the first time they see humans or people still alive. It might be a while before they trust us. You know? And it's not every investigation you're going to get good evidence. I mean, last week's investigation proved that. Last week's investigation was absolutely diabolical in terms of evidence. But as I always say, I would rather come away from an investigation with no evidence rather than fake evidence. Now, the light has lit up about 3 or 4 times this evening. Really not in response to any direct questions, but I do believe it has been spirits responsible for doing it. I still have the EVP device recording, and hopefully we'll pick something up on that later on. Hopefully we'll pick up the laughter of the children. Hopefully we'll pick up answers to the questions myself and Clodagh have already asked. Sally said, there's Mildred. Okay. Is there a spirit with us called Mildred? Mildred or Edward? Either come forward and turn on the light or speak into this little device in my hand. We'll just ask a series of questions then. I'll analyse the EVP recorder later. And Edward or Mildred, if you are with us, could you please tell us how old you were at the time of your passing? Could you please tell us, were you alive around the time of St. Brona, or was it in later years? Hey Rory, don't forget to share this video, guys. Share this video as much as you can, because now that we have started streaming from the public page, you're able to share from the page, whereas when we used to live stream from the group, you couldn't share. So share as much as you can, guys. And Adina says Mildred sounds right. So that's 2 people actually getting Mildred. So Mildred, if your spirit is here, please do not be afraid of us. And can you tell us, Mildred, do you have any connection with the spirit of Edward? So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to turn off the EVP recorder. We've done 11 minutes, 40 seconds, just saving that. Now, what we will do, we'll play a couple of the minutes of the replay. I'm not going to bore you all by playing the full 11 minutes. We'll play a couple of minutes, and then what we're going to do, we're going to turn on the spirit box and see if we can get any answers in real time. So just play this EVP back, and if you can hear anything, guys, coming through, just type your answers in the comments. Oh. The position of the bar compared to where the light was moving, you know. Well, I have the EVP recorder on, and you know, it just so happens that the laughter of the children was going on for a couple of minutes. Yeah, we're going to try the spirit box in a couple of minutes, Catherine. And shine the light to where it was coming from. It stops. So I can't say 100%. Hey, Sandra, I can't say 100% it's paranormal. You know, I don't have any proof that it was paranormal, but it's certainly unexplained at the minute. And I certainly don't think it's any coincidence that the laughing stops as soon as I shine the light in the direction it was coming from. Because there is children buried in this graveyard as well. So that was very, very weird, Clodagh. The children laughing. So, is there any spirits of children around here? Don't be afraid to come forward. We mean you no harm. I'm holding in my hand a little device, and if you don't feel comfortable by showing your presence by lighting up the little light in front of us, come and talk into this little device that I have in my hand. So I'm going to ask a couple of the same questions again, and you can either light up the light, talk into this device, or do both. It's up to yourselves. Is there any spirits among us that would like to come forward and make contact? Okay, guys, I just played 2 minutes of the EVP recorder there. If any of you's heard anything, I never heard anything back. I don't think Clodagh did either. Mm-hmm. If any of you's heard anything, just type what you heard in the comments. Although I don't think there was anything came through. I'll analyse the rest of it later on, and if anything comes through, I'll let you know. Now we're going to stick on the spirit box time, guys. This is all the bit everybody gets excited about. Everybody loves the spirit box. I'm not surprised, because it is by far the most... What was the light in the doorway? I never saw any light in Adina. Not with my naked eye, and I don't know if the camera picked it up. I don't know what the light was, to be honest. Everybody loves the spirit box. Everybody can't wait till the spirit box gets turned on. There, guys. Just a simple little recording device. PSB7 spirit box. One of the holy grails in paranormal communication. Did you see a light as well, Jacqueline? I never noticed any light, to be honest. But of course, the replay of this stream will be available on the page and the group when we're finished. Search the spirit box, guys. Everybody loves it. I'm going to turn it on now.
Including Scunthorpe and Teesside. The leader.
We'll put it on the forward sweep. Now this is going through 10 to 14 radio stations a second, folks. Up at full volume. So, if any of us hear anything on the spirit box, guys, again, write it in the comments section below. Because I'm deaf in my right ear and I can't hear properly. So, there's a face on that wall over there. I am seeing a face on that wall. Hold on, I get a screenshot of this. I am seeing a face, guys, on that wall. Oh, and it's giving me a sort of an evil smile. It's away. Holy shit. That freaked me out a bit. So, if we have any spirits here in the ruins of this church that would like to come forward and make contact, could you please come forward and tell us your name? You hear anything, Clue? There's a spirit of St. Brona among us. Is the spirits of either Edward or Mildred here among us? Guys, are you hearing any answers coming out of this? Oh, there's somebody said something. Is there any spirits from around the time of St. Brona with us here at the minute? Come forward and please tell us your name, spirits. Please don't be afraid. Oh, who was that? Spirits, can you tell us where we are at the minute? I wonder who was that? Somebody came through there, very clear. Where are we standing right now, spirits? We're standing in the ruins of an old church. What is it? My name is Pabs. This is my co-investigator, Clodagh. Are you able to repeat our names back to us? Yeah, I heard a woman. I heard a woman too. And Adina thought she heard Lisa. Lisa. I heard a woman coming through as well. Don't know exactly what she said. So spirits, please speak slowly and clearly. And if you need to, you can use my energy and Clodagh's energy. What is the name of the female spirit trying to get through to us?
He said go back.
Go back? Go back this way, was it? Clodagh thought you heard a spirit saying go back. So maybe stand up here then, guys. Go back up here to where I was standing. Okay, spirits, I have come back up here to where I was standing. So who is it that would like to come? Oh, guys, there's the motion sensor light on. The motion sensor light has come on after a spirit saying to come back up here. Okay, spirit, please come forward and tell us your name. Mary. Did I hear somebody say Mary? Just remember, spirits, you are quite welcome to use my energy. And can you tell us, Mary, are you the lady that is buried in this grave here beside us? Are you the lady that's buried in this grave? Yeah. Said yeah. She said yes. So can you please tell us what was the year of your passing? Sorry, could you repeat that, please? (1981). I don't think it was 1981, Spirit, was it? Because this grave looks a lot older than 1981. Or was it 1881 maybe? Was it 1881, Mary, when you passed away? Try and speak slowly and clearly, spirits. Use our energy if you have to. So it was 1881 when you passed away, Mary. Can you please tell us what was the cause of your passing? Please tell us the cause of your passing, Mary. Have you any connection to the spirit Edward? There's a woman saying something, I can't understand what she's saying. Catherine heard 1870 and Adina heard 1813. So it was definitely the 1800s. It was definitely the 1800s, Mary, when you passed. And Mary, were you married at all, were you? Says yeah. Said yes. And did you have any children, Mary? Yes, again. How many children did you have, Mary? How many? Please repeat that again. How many children did you have, Mary? Mary seems to have gone. What is the name of the male spirit who was trying to get through? Sorry, could you please repeat that, spirit? That's a good idea, Sally. Jacqueline said the man said 7 children. Mary, can you please tell us, was the names of any of your children Mildred or Edward? No. Catherine heard 7 too. Margaret heard 7. So the names of your children were not Edward or Mildred. Mary, can you tell us who Mildred and Edward are? No. Do you not know who Edward and Mildred are? Oh. What was that banging, folks? Guys, did any of you hear that? Oh, there's the light on. Look. Guys, did any of you hear that banging? Hold on, just let me get a screenshot. Mary, can you please tell us your married name? Sorry, what is your married name? You heard the banging as well, Ryan? Ryan heard the banging too. And to the man who said number 7, can you please tell us your name? To the gentleman who said 7, can you tell us your name? And can you tell us if you were Mary's husband? I was. He said, the gentleman said I was, so he was Mary's husband. So you and Mary had 7 children, but you still haven't told me your name, sir. What is your first name? Right here, Pat. Thought I heard saying Pat. So please tell us the name of your eldest child. And can you please tell us the name of your youngest child? Yeah, that's what I heard, guys. I heard Pat. I heard Pat very, very clearly. So how many boys did you and Mary have? 3, was it? How many boys did you and Mary have? How many girls did you and Mary have? Maggie was the oldest child. Thanks very much, Catherine. What was the name of your youngest child, Pat? Again, you have permission to use my energy if you just need to communicate. And how many girls did you and Mary have, Pat? How many? The answer is getting very, very low now. And can you tell us how many years were you and Mary married for? How many? Oh. Catherine heard 18 for the youngest child. Can you repeat that, please? Repeat that, please, Pat. How many years were you married? 31, yeah. So 31 years. That's how many years Mary and Pat were married. Well, Mary and Pat, thank you very, very much for communicating with us this evening. It has been a real pleasure talking to you. And we hope that yourselves and your 7 children are very, very happy in the afterlife. And it has been an absolute pleasure communicating with you. We are going to move on another little bit now because it's getting near home time. And we will come back down and chat to you real soon, okay? So good night and God bless Mary and Pat and to your lovely children. Bye-bye. That actually wasn't bad communication. So...
My great-granny was called Mary, but...
Was she, yeah?
She had 10 children.
10 children? My granny had 10 children, on my mum's side.
Maybe she was married to Larry, though.
Who?
She's married to Larry.
Right.
Keenan. My sister's married to Pat Keenan.
Right. Because this couple here were Mary and Pat, and the 7 children. Maggie was the oldest, Avine was the youngest. So that was very, very good communication with them spirits. So yeah, we'll bounce on, will we? So what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to go around and see if we can find the cross of St. Brona, and that's going to be our last communication of the night. If we can find the cross of St. Brona, we'll try and get in contact with her through the motion sensor light just for a minute on the spirit box, and then we're going to call the investigation a night because
Cold.
It's getting very, very cold here. And hey, Julia, it's getting very cold here, and we are near the coast. We are very near the coast. And as most of you know, it does get very cold down near the coast. I think I have spotted the cross of St. Brona, her burial site. I think that's it there. Here we are, guys. There's the outside of the church. Get another screenshot in case you get anybody looking out at us. Tonight's investigation has actually went very well, guys. Bit slow to start off with, but we got there in the end. That was some good communication with Mary and Pat. Very, very grateful that they came through to us and shared a little bit about their family. So here we are at the cross of St. Brona. Claude already has the motion sensor light positioned. This is St. Brona's cross, guys, and it's actually said that the cross actually is the spot where she's buried as well. So She's apparently buried under all this. And look, I mean, look at that wee small headstone over here. This is a very, very old graveyard, guys. I actually think it's even older than the one we visited a few weeks ago up in South Armagh. Oh, there's the motion sensor light on, guys. Haven't even asked a question yet. So just wait till it goes off and we'll ask a question. Then we'll do the spirit box and then we're going to call it a night because it is getting very cold. That's what I'm going to do, Sally. When I get home, I'm going to do a bit of research about who's buried in Kilbroney graveyard and I'll let you know what the story is. I definitely will. And Adina, Sally said I saw someone standing there in the window just now. What window was... There's that light on again. I haven't even asked a question. What window are you talking about, Sally? This one? I'm going to take a screenshot then. Thank you very much, Sal. Thank you very much, Sal. Maybe have a look about to see about Edward. Yeah, I am, Sal. I'm going to look about Edward and Mildred. Don't worry. So, have we got the spirit of St. Brona among us here this evening? If the spirit of St. Brona is here, my name is Pabs. This is my friend and co-investigator, Clodagh. And we understand you are a very deeply religious lady. We are not here to cause offence or to blaspheme. We are here hoping to make communication and contact. So there's a little, what is known as a sensor on the right hand side of your cross. It's our left hand side, your right hand side. If you could come forward and just walk past it or touch it, just to confirm your presence. No. Have we any spirits in the vicinity at all? Doesn't seem to be. So guys, I'm just going to turn on this spirit box for a couple of minutes. Then we're going to call it a night. Again, if any of you can hear anything, please just write your answers in the comments. So just as I turn the spirit box on, the motion sensor light comes on. So, is the spirit of St. Brona with us? If you are, please come and talk into this little device I have in my hand. Is there anybody here? Have we any spirits among us at this cross? Would the spirit of St. Brona like to come forward and make contact with us? This isn't looking promising, guys. Catherine, you're only after embarrassing me. I don't really know any Irish. I am ashamed to say I know very, very little Irish. Catherine says I kind of talking to somebody so ancient. Try a couple of words in Irish. I don't know any. Actually, do you know any Irish, Clodagh, apart from that? So, have we any spirits with us at all? Before we leave this graveyard for the evening, have we got any spirits? Any spirits like to make contact? No. Guys, we have nothing at the cross of St. Brona. The light lit up twice, but nobody seems to be willing to come forward and talk into the spirit box. So I think we're just going to call that a night for this evening. That was a bit of a stupid saying, call it a night for this evening. Yeah, that was a bit stupid. So I'm just going to grab this motion sensor light and then we are going to go. Just bear with us a wee second, folks. We'll have a bit of a chat on our way up towards the gate. So you will. Which way did we come in? This is the old part here. So we'll go around this way, guys. So yeah, listen, don't go yet, folks. Just keep us company till we get up around the gate. Because we're going to walk through the graveyard again, and you know, if any of you see anything that we don't see, again, you know, screenshots would be a nice job. We're just I'm just going to take a screenshot to the inside here. Thank you very much, Anadina. Thank you very much, Catherine. It was a good investigation. I actually enjoyed this evening. I actually did enjoy this evening, guys. It was a good investigation. Started off with a little walk around the graveyard. Started off very slow. But we did manage to contact a few spirits. The light went on and off a couple of times, the motion sensor light. I'm going to check the EVP recorder when I get home. I'm going to play it back. And hopefully something will come up on the EVP recorder from earlier. If it does, I'll let you know on what was said. When myself and Clodagh were in the ruins of the old church, while we were trying to make contact with spirits in there, we actually heard the laughter of children outside, which actually wasn't too far away from the ruins of the church. And as soon as I went to the opening and shone the torch in the direction of the laughter was coming from, the laughter stopped. Now, as I said back then, I have no evidence that it's 100% paranormal, but certainly it's at the minute it remains unexplained. It does remain unexplained. Then we done an EVP session in the church. The light went on and off a couple of times. We got in contact with Mary and Pat, who confirmed of their death in 1831, Mary's death in 1831. 1881. They were married for 31 years. They had 7 children, the eldest being Maggie and the youngest being Avine. So yeah, pretty successful investigation this evening, folks. I am well pleased with it. I hope Clodagh is too. Now, we're going to be out twice this week, guys. We're going to be out on Thursday night again. And Thursday night's investigation is going to take us to Belfast. And Thursday night's investigation is the holy grail of investigations. We have exclusive access to a location that I cannot say at the minute. But it is one of the most haunted areas in Ireland and the mainland UK. It does have a reputation for people being touched, people being pushed, people getting their ears whispered into. It has that reputation. So I am really, really looking forward to it. So if the weather permits, if the weather stays the way it was tonight, if it stays dry, myself and Clodagh will be travelling to Belfast Thursday evening to carry out this investigation. So we hope you'll all join us then. To those people who took screenshots, please send them to my inbox. Don't send them to the page. Send them to my personal inbox, and I'll analyse them when I get home. I'll analyse the video when I get home, and I'll analyse the EVP as well. I'll be sitting up half the night doing this anyway. So for everybody who joined us tonight, thank you so much. We really appreciate our loyal followers and the new people who are joining in as well. You are all very welcome. So from now until Thursday night, from myself and Clodagh, good night and God bless, guys. Say bye. Good night and God bless, folks. Stay safe.